این بانگ آزادی کز خاوران خیزد، فریاد انسان هاست کز نای جان خیزد، اعلام طوفان هاست کز هر کران خیزد، آتش فشان قهر ملت های در بند است، حبل المتین توده های آرزومند است. دشمن بداند ما موج خروشانیم، زایده بحریم فرزند طوفانیم، در سنگر اسلام بگذشته از جانیم، بازو به بازو صف به صف ما آهنین چنگیم، سنگر به سنگر جان به کف آماده جنگیم. تخت شهنشاه شد سرنگون از ما، بخت تبهکاران شد واژگون از ما، دامان آزادی شد لالگون از ما، ما حافظ آزادی و اسلام و قرآنیم، ما در پی آسایش و معراج انسانیم. ما در ره اسلام پیمان خون بستیم، زنجیر استعمار مردان بگسستیم، از دام اهریمن با یاد حق رستیم، ما نغمه الله اکبر بر زبان داریم، ما چون خمینی رهبری روشن روان داریم. الله اکبر خمینی رهبر، الله اکبر خمینی رهبر، الله اکبر خمینی رهبر.
لو
بلاقي مثل بلادي وين 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 وين
طير سلم لي عسورية وعقلب ودعته بأراضية يا طير سلم لي عسورية وعقلب ودعته بأراضية بلاد الحنوني كل ما صليت بلاد الحنوني كل ما صليت بطلب يا ربي ضل حامية
يا طير سلم لي عسورية عقلب ودعته بأراضية
بلاد الحنوني كل ما صليت بلاد الحنوني كل ما صليت
بطلب يا ربي ضل حامية مع حمص وبرج صافيته عقلحة الحصن ومرمريته
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is the International Criminal Court. We are back in session once more to have a live stream about the war in Iran. It is now officially a month old, and it is growing unpopular by the hour. Not by weeks, not by days, not by, minutes or seconds or so. I don't fucking know. It's growing more unpopular as we speak, as of right now. It is a complete disaster. The damage controlling that the friggin' warmongers in Washington, D.C., and especially the neocons and MAGAs that are, coping and seething over the fact that this war even became a thing is insane. Many just can't seem to accept that Donald Trump, as they knew him, is long gone. The president is completely compromised as we speak. He is doing the bidding of Israel, despite the fact that many of these people said in 2024 that he would get us into no more wars. Well, my friend, you couldn't have been more wrong than that. It is with great remorse to say that MAGA is all but dead. Pretty much dead. And it's only going to worsen because, as all of you know by now, we are having protests in the United States for the second year in a row, known as the No Kings protest. Now, obviously, for the most part, it is a cringeworthy, libtard, organized rally. But at the same time, it does have merit to it, especially this year. It now feels as if we should be going out and protesting, unlike the last No Kings bullshit in 2025. In fact, I was actually in Italy when that was going on, but I am now here for potentially a second round of protest. And to be honest with you guys, I am very inclined to perhaps go to a future anti-Trump protest. And this is coming from a guy who voted for him in 2024. I preferred Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. She was the shittier candidate between the two. There was no winning between Trump and Kamala Harris in 2024 for the American voters. There was just no winning. Neither people were going to be completely satisfied with the choice that they have been given. And in my opinion, if Kamala had been president right now, we would be even more double down in Ukraine. While Trump, on the other hand, got us into another Middle Eastern war. So, before I get going any further, I just want to point out that the war with Iran, in my opinion, hasn't reached its full peak yet. I think it's only going to get worse before it gets any better. I feel like we are in for a shittier nightmare than we already have been for the last few weeks or so. It will only worsen. Just trust me when I say that. So, with that all being said, I am not looking forward to what's going to be coming around in April. And to be quite honest with you guys, I think a ground invasion of one of the islands, if not the Iranian mainland, is inevitable. So, with that all being said, let's talk about the situation. So, as all of you guys know, oil prices are skyrocketing. Like, it is complete madness on the petroleum market right now. And as I'm reading this, just give me a moment, I'll load it up. The market is at, let me see here. Let me try to load this shit up. There we go. So this is the Telegram. This is what I use, ladies and gentlemen. I am a big frequenter on Telegram, so follow John Bolton Stan on Telegram if you haven't already. In fact, this is like my main hub of operations where I spread my own gospel, for better or worse. So, let's see here. Ah, yes, the oil prices. Where do I even start with this? So, just to break things down, WTI crude basically is our oil. It's like what we produce here in the United States. Brent crude, I think, is shit that's like from Europe or something. And then Murban crude oil is from, the Middle East. Natural gas USA, gasoline USA, heating oil USA. But here's where it gets very interesting. Look at Russia's category here, which is under Urals. Urals right now cost around $105.91 per barrel. Shit is not getting any better, especially if you're the United States. I mean, look at this. So, this is Urals right here. And compare this to like 1 month ago, okay? Or 1 year ago, max. So, oil prices within Russia itself, or for Russia, were actually stagnated or going down. So, things were not looking good for the Russians here. It was, I think, as low as like $49 or like $50 a barrel. But then this whole war starts and it skyrockets. The whole war starts and everything changes overnight. From $57 per barrel all the way to $62, then to $71, then to $90. From $71 to $90 in 1 day, and then it goes down a little bit, and then it goes back up again, and now we are currently at $105 per barrel. Okay, so, yeah, some people seem to be having trouble here. Sorry about that. Okay, hopefully you guys will see it better now. But yeah, if you take a look at this, it was literally at like $50 per barrel in 2025, like at the end of the year. And now it is at $105. And I think at the peak, which was, let me see here, last week or so, it was $110 per barrel at some point. It was absolutely ridiculous. It's even more apparent, especially when you look at what was put out in like the 1 month period. Like, look at this, $57, and then it just goes up, up, and up, 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 up. It is a mountain that the Russians right now keep climbing up, and it's not going to get any better because of that. But yeah, look at Murban crude. They do things a lot quicker. So look at this. So 1 month ago, or 1 year ago, oil was at, yeah, $60 or so, and it just kept going up. But yeah, then it just shot up. Complete ridiculousness. And yeah, our crude oil, as I said, is going up too in price. Like, oil, like, everywhere is going up in value. And I think at the peak, Murban crude oil was at $146 a pop. So, now here's what I want to ask you guys, okay, right now in chat. So how do you guys see things going in the future, like with all these prices? Like, where do you expect it could go? Because that's what I want to ask, because this is not like a typical video that I would usually make. This is like a conversational chat between me and my followers alike. India is cooked. Oh, yeah, Indian basket. Indian basket. Oh, yeah, look at that. Whoa. Wow. In 1 month time, everything goes to hell for India. Yeah, I heard India is like in a big energy crisis too right now. I heard China's also being hurt too. Okay, so this one guy here says it's going to go up to $220 per pop here. For which one? Are you talking about Murban crude, Brent crude, WTI crude, or Urals? And by the way, I heard the LNG thingy, I heard the Russians and the Indians quickly reached an agreement or something. So the energy crisis is not getting... Oh, so okay, so this guy clarified. So he predicts that Brent crude oil is going to go to $220 per barrel. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's only going to get worse on that side. And then going back to Telegram here. So yeah, again... Hey, Fugitive Channel, I have been talking about the war a lot, and let's just say that I haven't really had a lot of kind things to say about President Donald Trump and his allies. Like, not a lot of nice things. Let's just say I've been quite an asshole. Okay, there's a lot of shit to talk about. Oh, yeah, by the way, for those who don't know, I made a Middle East and North Africa map. And Matt, I should probably put it on the map right now, like, for this actual stream. Just give me a moment, guys. I need to load it up. The thing is pretty much done. It's just the only thing that I haven't really did was, like, paint... I guess who controls what in Somalia, but let's be honest, it's kind of difficult to map that conflict because there is like so much gray zone there. It's sort of like Afghanistan during 2019 and 2020. All right, here we go. Fertilizer shortages. I gotta look that up. By the way, I'm gonna turn on some Middle Eastern music if you guys don't mind. We're going to turn on some Fairuz, or Fairuz. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she is like an all-time legend in the Middle East. like one of the great like musicians over there. Or vocalists, I don't know. Because I don't want like any dead air like my last stream. Like I wanted to have some bangers like in the background. But also to make this place a little far more chill, okay? Benny here, who is from, I think he's from Hungary. He says, I wonder how bad the oil prices are going to increase in the EU. We already burned every kind of Russian gas or oil. So the only way to get it via, like, import. Oh. Tough for you. You even got an election coming up, and Orban doesn't look too good right now. But I hope he wins, because I think Hungary does not need a globalist. In fact, Magyar is not the solution for Hungary, in my opinion. I mean, they could go a little more to the left, but that guy's not the solution. He just wants to put them back in the EU sphere of influence, which is so fucking gay. Alright, let's load up the music in 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's tone down the desktop audio. Ah, so soothing to hear, to be honest with you guys. Okay. Just tone it down a little more so I'm not distracted by her beautiful voice. I hope the audio is not too bad for you guys, like on your end. I know I'm gonna get copyrighted, but I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm doing all this out of, like, a passion. Like, it's my hobby. It's not a job. Well, for now that is. Anyway, I'm gonna make sure that this thing is working on my phone. So, just give me a moment. Yeah, it appears it is working just fine. Okay. Yeah, it appears it is working just fine. Yeah, that's just my phone. I'm just making sure I can hear the music on my phone. I'll turn up the volume just a little more. The desktop audio that is on OBS, and that should be good. Good. Song name? Let me load up, let me see here. AHA music. Aha music. It's like Shazam except for your desktop. Alright, I'll put it in the live stream chat if you don't mind. Her music is so good. Like, I highly recommend it if you haven't heard it already. Like, if you're just getting started on, like, music from the sand, highly recommend Fibers. It's, like, true, like, culture from the Arab world. Like, trust me when I say that. Okay. So, this is my map on the Middle East, North Africa. A lot of it is sort of based on what Syriac has painted, but at the same time, I gave it sort of like my own twist. So, this is Yemen, who has all but recently just joined in on the war against U.S. and Israel. This is Somalia. It's a fucking clusterfuck. But if you ask me who I think is winning the war, it's Al-Shabaab. Or as I like to call them, the Shabab. They're basically like a diet Boko Haram. Not as like fucking batshit crazy as they are, but still, they're jihadists. So we're talking legit terrorist. So yeah, they control pretty much, they control a big chunk of that coastline here. And I think they have the city of Bardari in a cauldron here. The Amisom or Jubaland militias control the city, but they're pretty much surrounded by Al-Shabaab. They don't really have a lot of ways to get in and out of the city. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day they just take this without a fight. Sort of like how Taliban took those provincial capitals. Biota is kind of gray zone-ish right now. And then looking at Mogadishu, not looking too good. I think Al-Shabaab is like already on the outskirts with a lot of this being in the gray zone. But yeah, look at all that Al-Shabaab control. Like, Jesus Christ. And the central government doesn't even have that much control over the central territories, let alone the roads and countryside. Oh, I love this one. This song is one of my favorites. And this is the United Arab Emirates-backed Somaliland. I think this is the capital. Hargeisa. But yeah, if you ask my opinion, I think Somalia's going to fall to Al-Qaeda control in a matter of years from now. I don't know when, but it's definitely happening. So anyway, getting back to the Iran war, to like basically break it down, the U.S. is talking about supposedly invading Iran's like islands. Like they want to invade this, and they want to take like a bunch of like these other islands too, like Kish Island. They want to take Karg Island here, which is home to this big like oil like refinery. I mean, it's all in the Persian Gulf. And this, of course, is the infamous Strait of Hormuz right now. Like, nobody can pass it except for any country that doesn't have a beef with Iran. And let me see how many countries are allowed to go through the strait. Okay. If you are China, Russia, India, Pakistan, Iraq, Bangladesh, Thailand, and Malaysia, you can go through the Strait of Hormuz, bearing that you pay a $2 million transit fee. South Korea, Italy, and France are in talks with Iran to get their vessels out and through the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, it's the Middle East, that's why. And it's not just Persia or Iran that's like the subject of controversy. It's the entire Middle East. It's literally Arab countries. Like, everybody is sort of fucked right now. Yemen, Sudan, Syria, and Lebanon. Like, everybody is fucked right now. I think Syria is officially neutral in the war. They condemned the strikes by Iran, but they haven't, like, actually taken part in the conflict itself, because they know that they would get fucked by Iranian missiles if they actually enter the war. So yeah, U.S. wants to apparently take this over with Marines, but I think it's a suicide mission. Why would I play English language music? I'm not playing shit that, like, is cringeworthy. And that shit's also a parody. Like, it's not serious stuff. So yeah, U.S. is talking about, or the media itself, they're talking about literally invading Iran through the south. and through these islands. But I'm like, are you sure you really want to do this? Most urban centers within Iran are extremely far away from the water. And it also doesn't help that Iran is rugged. It makes Afghanistan look like a child's playground. But yeah, it's not in Persian. The music is in Arabic. I know it. Don't worry about it. Okinawa 2026 if they tried to... Yep, I agree. I think it could also end up like Russia's problems on Snake Island years ago in Ukraine. As you guys remember, they tried to take over this, and it didn't work out so well. Russian warship, go fuck yourself. Wow! But yeah, that didn't work out well at all for the Russians. Not the Americans, but for the Russians. And also, this shit is so predictable that Iran is already sending their soldiers to these islands. They know the Americans are coming. So why should we even bother with this invasion if they already know we're coming? It's way too easy for them to see, and they're also blockading the airport runways too, for crying out loud. Like, this is the downtown airport in Tehran, okay? Look at this. So this is the satellite imagery of Tehran's airport. I think I saw an image of them using buses to block the runway of the whole airport. Like, both runways are now completely blocked off. Like, you can't use the airport at all to land your aircraft. And they probably closed off Khomeini Airport too. So there is effectively no way to carry out this ground invasion from the air. Unless you want to, like, really lose a lot of guys. Anyway, I'll turn off the music for now. So, everything about this suicide mission is so retarded. And most Americans are against it. As I said, today we had the Old Kings protest. And those protests are only going to get bigger and bigger. And they will not go away anytime soon. The president himself, I don't know what he's thinking right now. He's a fucking retard. And there are fears going around in the country that he might be wanting to do a draft. I actually hope he tries to do that. You know why? Because if he does that, guess what? The Republic goes... It just collapses. The United States of America, as you know it now, will be no more if he tries to attempt a draft. All for what? Just to appease Benjamin Netanyahu? A guy who probably has all the dirty shit on him with Jeffrey Epstein? Seriously. We all know how this is going to end if they really go forward with this. It will not only end in disaster, but also it could result in the collapse of our republic. So if they attempt a draft, no one's going to be in favor of it. And Iran is way too big for USA to invade. It's bigger than Vietnam. It's definitely bigger than Afghanistan. And it's definitely bigger than Korea. I mean, look how big Iran is when compared to Iraq, let alone the whole Arabian Peninsula. Like, this country is massive. There is literally no way in hell we can carry out a successful invasion. And most of the countries that would have been willing to somewhat be open to the idea either are now taken over by pro-Persian proxy groups or they're neutral. Like, they want nothing to do with this. Afghanistan is closed off now thanks to the Taliban takeover in 2021. Turkmenistan is always going to be neutral, so you can rule that out. You can definitely forget about Iraq. They're not going to let us use their borders. Turkey, nope, they have a good relationship with Iran as well. Azerbaijan, good luck trying to get supplies over there. Definitely not Armenia. No, and Pakistan, good luck getting the junta's approval. So, the only way that they can realistically invade Iran is through the southern coastline on the Persian Gulf. It's literally the only way. And we all know how that's going to end up. Also, by the way, I want to just point out that I'm actually happy the United Arab Emirates is getting what they deserve. Because I would say right now, the UAE is probably like one of my most hated countries right now in the entire world. This sorry excuse for a country which thinks it is more than what it really is getting bombed a lot, and most people around the world couldn't be any happier. Las Vegas of the Middle East is getting literally pounded, and their economy is sinking too because of this war. In fact, right now, I heard the Emirates is panicking. Just give me a moment, all right? So, the United Arab Emirates, it seems, and I quote, has changed its position on the war with Iran. Yesterday, calls for a ceasefire were considered insufficient, and it was said that Iran's military capabilities should be completely destroyed. Today, Anwar Gargash, the senior diplomatic advisor to the United Arab Emirates president, clarified the Emiratis want a diplomatic and political solution with Iran to ensure the security of the region. Yesterday, Iran struck Abu Dhabi's economic zone and several infrastructure facilities, causing significant damage. Get fucking wrecked, you bastards. And let me explain my beef with the UAE, okay? I don't like the United Arab Emirates because it's like one of the fakest countries in the world. It's basically just Middle Eastern Las Vegas. But unlike Las Vegas, these guys do far worse shit there. And they're hypocritical too. They say they're Muslim, but they act like dirty kuffar. And I'm not even a Muslim. But I'm just saying, like, these guys are hypocritical to the point where I don't even take them that seriously. They're just Western vassals. The UAE has taken part in human trafficking. They have tolerated prostitution, even though it's illegal there. The UAE also allows alcohol, which is banned in Islam. They've allowed people to smoke there. And then you have all these oligarchs from Russia and Ukraine coming to the Emirates to vacation while both their countries, like thousands of miles away, are burning. Like the United Arab Emirates, I think, also had ties to Jeffrey Epstein too. So yeah, it's a very disgusting country. And I honestly don't know if I'm even going to bother visiting it. And it also doesn't help that the United Arab Emirates backs multiple efforts to tear apart the Middle East as a whole. They tried to tear apart Yemen, didn't work. They're trying to tear apart Sudan. That is in progress, but I think in the long term, it's going to fail. They tried to tear apart Syria. That has also failed. Like, I fucking hate their guts. I can't stand them. And then, yeah, you also have them trying to tear apart Somalia with the Somaliland militias here. I mean, there's every reason to not like the United Arab Emirates. Not to mention that it's an authoritarian regime that oppresses its own people and especially foreign workers who go over there to work for some money. I mean, then again, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, and I guess Bahrain do all the same thing. But the UAE, though, takes it arguably to the next level. And speaking of Qatar and Bahrain, Qatar, I would say, in spite of its flaws, now it is true they have backed Islamist groups like Al-Nusra Front in Syria, which is now the ruling regime in Damascus, and the Taliban in Afghanistan. I have to commend them for making the right call with Iran, and that's to not fuck with them. Qatar knows why Iran is bombing them, and it's not because of their government. No, they're not after the Qatari government. They're after the bases. And let me see here if I can find it. But yeah, the U.S. has like the biggest like actually, hold on, no. They have like their biggest military base in the whole Middle East in Qatar. And let me see if I can try to find it. But yeah, this is their big international airport here. I don't think anyone's able to use it due to the war. And I think Dubai Airport is closed too. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Like, a lot of the shit right now is shut down because of the war with Iran. But yeah, this is the big, like, refineries here. I mean, Qatar is, like, one of the major players, despite being such a tiny country. And Qatar was getting so powerful that the Saudis had to neuter them in the late 2010s. Let me see here if I can find that big base. Because that's what Iran is really after. They don't really give a damn about the fucking Qatari government. And as I said, Qatar's playing it smart. All right, it is known as Al Udeid Air Base. Okay. And is home to over 10,000 troops and is the forward headquarters of CENTCOM. Okay, so it should be located somewhere in the middle. In the middle of Qatar. Where is it? In all of this sand, where is the biggest Middle Eastern air base for the United States? Oh, is it this? Oh, yeah, there it is. I found it. Yeah, look at how massive this thing is. So, yeah, this is the headquarters, of CENTCOM in the Middle East. Yeah, they built this thing up really well. But it's one of Iran's favorite targets right now. They're showing no mercy towards it as we speak. Now, if you ask for my opinion, I think U.S. should just leave the Middle East. That region is a lost cause. It's never going to stabilize. And I think the only way it can is if we just leave. I don't think it's going to get any better if we stay there longer. I think it's going to get worse the longer we stay. But also, I want to discuss a bit about Bahrain. Bahrain is even smaller than Qatar. And the funny thing about this country, if you really want to call it that, was that I think sometime, a long time ago, before I was born, Bahrain actually used to be part of Iran. Mainly because of the fact that it has a Shia majority population. Bahrain is home to only around 1.5 million people. And I think right now, this is like the most hit hard country, like by Iran. Like Iran is like going all out against Bahrain. And I think what they're trying to do here at this point is basically to get the population to rise up against the regime there. And to be honest, I think what they're doing there is working because people are getting out on the streets of Bahrain, protesting against their government for siding with U.S. and Israel on the matter. I mean, I think this shit's just going to end up being a disaster for the U.S. coalition. And I do think Bahrain is more vulnerable to regime change than many people think it is. So maybe Bahrain becomes part of Iran again. Kuwait has been fairly neutral. They haven't really done anything wrong. I think we have bases here, but we're not like... I think Kuwait's government is not really doing anything too antagonistic towards Iran because they know that would be retarded, and also they're under Iraq too, especially the Shiite areas of Iraq. Because everything here, all this here, is all Shiite territory in Iraq. So they can't, like, do anything that would piss them off. They can't. It would be fucking stupid. if they try to do that. And then you have, of course, Syria. I don't really expect too much activity here, honestly, for the course of the war, because I feel like the Syria issue is mostly closed. Because now that the SDF is pretty much impotent, like reduced to almost nothing, I feel like Syria is mostly a settled issue now. Like, Assad is gone, there's a jihadist government in power, and it looks like most Syrians seem to be okay with it. But that doesn't seem to be the case, though, for Lebanon. In fact, Israel has invaded Lebanon again. They really love to invade Lebanon. They tried to invade it in 1982. It didn't work. And then they tried again, like, I think later in the 2000s, and it also didn't work. And then they tried recently in 2023, 2024. It also didn't work. So what makes them believe that they can succeed this time? Lebanon is like the most fucking rugged country in the Levant. Like, look at how rugged this tiny country is when compared to like Syria, which is like mostly flat desert. I feel like Israel is just wasting their time, money, and lives on trying to invade the Lebanon again. In fact, you know what? Let's do some Wikipedia searching, okay? Or, as I would like to say, Wikipedia surfing. Let me see here. How many times has... Let me see here. How many times has Israel invaded Lebanon? 1978, 1982, 1993, 1996, 2006, and 2023 and 24. Wow. And to think that there are some parties within Lebanon that, for some weird reason, want to disarm the only faction that is capable of defeating the IDF, and that is the Hezbollah. Like, I don't understand the logic of the Lebanese, like, politicians, especially the ones that are anti-Hezbollah. Now, let me see here. So, yeah, I think everyone knows that their most famous incursion into Lebanon was the 1982 invasion. You guys all probably remember that one. I mean, have any of you seen Waltz with Bashir? The movie made by, like, an Israeli soldier that actually opposed the war. Yeah, arrogance, and that Lebanon is literally porcupine. There's literally no way to properly succeed in an invasion there, unless you're like Syria. I think the only entity that is capable of taking over Lebanon is Syria. They're the only ones that can do it because they're actually Arab, and most of the population there doesn't really seem to mind the Syrians. I mean, they're pretty much the same damn people. Like, there's not much difference between a Syrian and a Lebanese person. It's like Russian and Ukrainians, effectively. But yeah, they attempted to invade. Yeah, so they occupied the South Lebanon from 1985 to 2000. And I'll load it up in a moment. But yeah, these are all the times that, well, for the most part, that Israel has attempted to take over Lebanon. And all of them have failed equally and in worse fashion. So this was the first attempt by Israel to take over the Lebanon. Again, 1978. So this is like during the early phase of the civil war in the country. It was basically Israel versus the Palestinian Liberation Organization of Yasser Arafat. So yeah, this is 1978 invasion. And then the next the next incursion into Lebanon by the Zionist regime was in 1982. This one I think is their most infamous one. So yeah, this is the infamous 1982 invasion. The result, by the way, if you can't see it, it declares it as inconclusive. Israeli tactical victories, but strategic failure. It got rid of the PLO, but it started the basically the new threat of pro-Persian proxies being at their northern border. So yeah, they mostly withdrew from Lebanon by the end of by 1985 or so. So it was 3 years, but then they kept a zone, a security zone in the south. So this was how much territory they took, or at least what they occupied for a certain period of time. They're probably going to try to reestablish this in their new invasion of Lebanon. And it's home to it was home to 180,000 people. Most of Israel's security zone lay within the area, patrolled by the UN peacekeepers from the UN interim force in Lebanon, who had been deployed there since the 1978 invasion. Now, that of course lasted until 2000, and then the next invasion of Lebanon happened, of course, in 2006. This one was primarily between not Israel and the Lebanese state or the Palestinians. This one was between Israel and the Hezbollah. Basically, they took over Gajar, which I think is controlled by the Israelis as of today. And yeah, but that was all they really captured. And then Lebanon was able to, via Hezbollah, they were able to kick out the Israeli defense forces from the country. And it lasted a month, fortunately. So that was invasion number 3. And then invasion number 4, this one was just recent. And for some reason, Wikipedia calls this basically an Israeli victory for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, that's kind of weird because they didn't really win anything except for maybe, okay, Ron, no, not 1982. We want to go to 2000 no, not 2006. We already know what happened with that one. But yeah, look at all these armed engagements. This is so damn many. Let's see. Israeli invasion of the Lebanon in 2023 or 2024. All right, here we go. So this is the 2024 invasion. I think this is the third or fourth time they attempted to take over Lebanon. And yeah, I think that was as far as they got or something. I don't know. If you look at the map here. I mean, just because they killed Hassan Nasrallah doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. It just doesn't. Can Hezbollah themselves coup d'etat the Lebanese government? I don't think they really need to do that. The Lebanese government in its current form is impotent. They literally can't do anything to stop them. I talked to a Lebanese dude the other night on Telegram. He tells me that what he says is like, the thing about Lebanon is that the so-called Lebanese armed forces are de facto not the true army. It is Hezbollah and all these like loose militias that the government doesn't have any control of. They are the actual army, not them. Now, if you guys want to know why the LAF is so weak and so impotent, it's very simple. I can tell you why. What happened was the United States put a ban on any sort of arms to the Lebanese army, all because of Israel telling Congress that if you supply the Lebanese army, then the Lebanese army is going to try to attack Israel with those said weapons. So that is why they don't want to give the LAF any weapons. So you're telling me that you want to disarm Hezbollah with a weak army that barely has any control over the situation over there. And yet these dumbass neocons think that they can just get rid of Hezbollah with a wave of a magic wand. Ooh, look at our scary general turned president. No one gives a fuck about Joseph Aoun. Now, I'll admit, I do think he was an okay choice for president, all things considered. But what can he really do other than just to speak? Speak and speak. He literally can just talk and do nothing. That's it. Lebanon, in its current form, is not even a state. It's literally just a pack of, like, warlords over there doing jack shit. I mean, I wish I was kidding about this. You guys think right now, in its current form, the Lebanon is really a real country? Like, we don't even know who has proper control over Lebanon. Like, we don't even know. Like, are you telling me that the Lebanese army can somehow disarm and get rid of Hezbollah? And besides, they don't even pay that well. The LAF, like, only gives, like, a $600 pension to their soldiers, while Hezbollah gives, like, $1,000 and more benefits. In fact, I'll read it right now from this guy I talked to, okay? Just give me a moment. So, the salary of a Lebanese armed forces soldier starts from $200 to $300. The minimum wage in Lebanon is $400 to $500. But Hezbollah's minimum wage is $1,000, including free housing, schools, food, etc. So, yeah, $1,000 may not sound a lot, but in this country it is, and they also give you additional benefits too in return for membership. So, if you were to have like 1,000 or so Lebanese soldiers going to disarm the Hezbollah, I guarantee you that most of those guys, like more than half of them, are going to lay down their arms and join Hezbollah. That's exactly what will happen. Oh yeah, so if you're going to bring up Hafez al-Assad, I'll just say it right now. The only man that was capable of conquering the Lebanon was Hafez al-Assad. Like, he was the only one that... He was the one who won the civil war in Lebanon in the 80s. He won. That was the most hilarious thing. It was the first time that Israel has lost to an Arab country. Their win-loss record was finally given, like, a loss. Like, they were undefeated up until that point. But then the Lebanese civil war happens. They get bogged down. And then what do you know? Syria basically gobbles up Lebanon, both directly and indirectly with their proxies. So it was Hafez al-Assad that actually dealt a defeat to the Israeli defense forces. And it was in Lebanon. Okay, let me look at the factions here. I can't fucking, like, let me try to, hold on. I need to move this shit. Just give me a moment. All right, you see that on your screen? These are a list of all of the factions in the Lebanese civil war. Look at this bullshit. Like, oh my god. So, Syria's main proxy of choice was the Amal movement. And then the Lebanese front, which was led by Bashir Jamal, or the Phalanges. They were backed by Israel and rumored the United States too. But yeah, they basically backed them all the way from 1978 onwards. But yeah, Syria was not only directly involved, but yeah, their main proxy was Amal. I don't know when they started backing the Hezbollah, but that's essentially what happened. Lebanese army was impotent, weak, very useless. I don't know how powerful the LNRF was, but these Druze-led militias were also pretty strong too, though, again, not as strong as the Syrians and the Phalanges militants were. But yeah, as you can see here, Hezbollah comes into the game, and then you have this jihadist group here. I think they may have been based in Tripoli, if I'm correct. Walid Jumblat is still alive. He's not even that old. But yeah, these were all the players that were involved in this conflict. Oh yeah, this guy was the president of Lebanon until 2022, and he ended up being ousted in 1990 by Hafez al-Assad. And then there's the late Bashir Jamal. He got bombed by a Syrian Maronite Christian. And that's his brother, who was more moderate than he was. And then you have the main villains of this story. Menachem Begin and Ariel Sharon. Anyway. Oh yeah, he's still alive? Oh yeah, the guy who killed Bashir Jamal? Wow. Maybe he was so popular that they decided not to kill him. Okay. Enough games. I'm going to shrink this back to normal. And then I'm just trying to fix everything up. Okay. So, with that all being said, guys, that is basically, yeah, the Lebanon civil war of the 1980s. And yeah, it was a disaster for Israel. And it led to Likud being exiled until like basically the mid-90s when Netanyahu showed up. So yeah, getting back to Lebanon. So Israel is trying to take it over again. And the reason why I think it's going to fail, I mean, it's for the same reasons they failed back in those days of the Civil War. Because Israel is just not welcomed there. Nobody likes them. And they're willing to die to ensure that the Israeli government does not try to conquer Lebanon or to try to turn it into its vassal. They don't want to see that happen. Like, it would be a defeat for them. Now, let's go to my Telegram, okay? So, just give me a moment. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's see what we got here, okay? On the Hague Telegram. So, the Pentagon is preparing plans for weeks of ground operations in Iran, should Trump decide to escalate the war. Shit that is obviously unpopular, and it's probably going to get him more protest. Oh, let's watch this video. So this is Ben Gavir. This is a Mizrahi Jew from Iraq. And this guy, he's hilariously bad. He's like a comedic, he's like comic relief for this whole war. Like, if you want to hear your classic bad take from a Zionist, Ben-Gvir is the man. Like, this guy is crazy. Like, just hear what he has to say. Like, he's like fucking unhinged.
התמונות המחרידות, המזעזעות בסוריה, מוכיחות דבר אחד. פעם ג'יהאדיסט, תמיד ג'יהאדיסט. מי שרוצח, גוזר אספנים, משפיל, פוגע, אונס, לא צריך לנהל איתו קשרי משא ומתן, והדבר היחיד שצריך לעשות עם ג'ולני, זה לחסל. אני אוהב...
You hear that? He said Jelani, he should be killed.
הולך להם חיבוק חם, ואומר, אנחנו צריכים לחסל את ראש הנחש.
So what he said was, the new Syrian president must be killed. The battle with the new Syria is a fateful one for Israelis, and it is coming. This Jelani rat sold his afterlife for Israel, and now is going to lose his life in this world. What a fool, and deserves nothing in either world. You deal with the devil, you pay the price. Well, I think that's what the administrator of the channel says, but he's basically saying that Jelani is going to get killed by the fucking, Zionist. And let's be honest with you guys. I think what Ben-Gvir said was pretty based. Low-key. It shows you that Israel does not give a fuck. And to be honest with you guys, I do respect that, all things considered. And also, let's be honest. If Jelani was your neighbor, a literal former commander of Al-Qaeda was like your neighbor, like next door, would you feel comfortable around him? Would you feel safe? Could you trust the guy? No. I wouldn't. I would plan all sorts of gay ops against Jelani by all means necessary. But yeah, I like Ben-Gvir. He's like... He's literally comic relief, and I hope Israel keeps him around, because that dude is way too damn funny. Anyway, just give me a moment here. I'm trying to adjust this shit. There we go. Now it's perfect. Or actually, just give me a little bit more. And perfect. There we go. All right, the screen is completely filled up. So, yeah, he wants to kill him. Maybe he should go to Damascus himself and kill him. That'd be hilarious. What's this? The son of the Shah still wants to topple the regime in Tehran. Let's hear what he has to say, shall we? If this video can even load, that is. But yeah, this is from CPAC. It's basically the Republican, like, E3 press conference or something. It's where, like, a lot of influential Republican politicians and influencers gather to have their little group therapy session. All right, here it is. Now it's loaded. So let's hear what Reza Pahlavi has to say. And by the way, have you guys noticed he has a really big nose? Like, have you noticed that? He kind of looks like a Jew. I mean, I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic or something like that, but his nose is very big.
President Trump is making America great again. I intend to make Iran great again.
Where do I even begin? Let me just say this very clearly and eloquently right now. I fucking hate the Iranian diaspora. How is this guy gonna make Iran great again? He's like the president or the Shah of nothing. Yeah, cringe alert, cringe alert, cringe alert. I wish I had a triangle or something right there. That would make it a lot funnier. But yeah, I mentioned here, why are so many Iranian diaspora conservative when the conservatives in the U.S. itself, like, don't give a fuck about them? And if anything, they want them deported. Yeah, you know what? I might as well play the clip. Just give me a moment. Because this shit is way too funny for me to, like... Just let me... Alright, just give me a moment here. Okay. Alright, add another window capture. Because this is a request from chat, by the way. Here it is. Here we go. Let's play the clip again.
President Trump is making America great again. I intend to make Iran great again.
Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert!
Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Like, dude. Nobody gives a flying fuck about you here in the West. Like, nobody. Like, fuck the fuck off. I mean, I'll play the clip again because it's just way too damn funny. Oh, I got a better idea. Let's shrink it. Let's fucking shrink it.
President Trump is making America great again. I intend to make Iran great again.
Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert!
The crowd, this part is even the worst one for me personally.
Again. I intend to make Iran great again.
Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Cringe alert! Alert! Cringe 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 alert!
Fuck the Shah. And fuck him on the high horse he rode on. So, anyway. Enough of that cuck. Let's discuss a bit about the state of CPAC. So, Donald Trump is losing his popularity with mainstream conservatives. Especially his own hardcore MAGA supporters. I mean, hear what this closeted homosexual tried to do. Okay? Like, watch this.
How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. That was the wrong answer. Let me try it again. How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. Can someone bring some coffee out for the people in CPAC?
I know.
We've got who would like to see impeachment hearings? No.
Yeah, that's Brandon Herrera.
No. Can someone bring some coffee out for the
Yeah,
people
no,
in
that's
CPAC?
the, I know.
By the way, this guy was fucking accused of groping another man at a Virginia bar, despite the fact that he was married to a woman. So he's definitely not straight. He's homosexual. Look at me posting Chris Hansen. And yeah, as you can see here, the Iranians or the Persians struck the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. This is a satellite replay of the footage itself. Like, look at this shit. Boom. Boom. And then you have also my good friend who's from Russia. He posts about a potential food crisis that is coming. So 50% of global food production is directly dependent on synthetic fertilizers. Planting season is approaching the northern hemisphere, and fertilizer availability is severely limited. 30% of fertilizer supplies are disrupted due to strait issues, and 20% of LNG supplies are disrupted. China has imposed restrictions on fertilizer exports, threatening 30%. Most synthetic fertilizers are derivatives of natural gas. So no gas, no fertilizer. You're cooked. All of you. Now, let's see here. Oh, yeah, so this is from a Russian Telegram channel. Look at this shit. These guys are getting, like, excited over fucking McDonald's opening in their city. This is in the city of Nikolaev in southern Ukraine, which is not too far from Odessa. And look at this fucking cattle shit here. They're all running to get inside, in my opinion, the shittiest, most sorry burger in, like, the whole world. McDonald's is so low quality for its price. Like, this is pure cattle shit. Look at all these sheeple here. I know what I may say sound a little bit tinfoil hatty, conspiracy theory. Like, I know. But look at this. This is so fucking cringe. Well, what's this Mickey Mouse character doing here? Like, look at this. Really? You're all getting excited about slop? Come on, man. Five Guys, In-N-Out, Shake Shack, The Habit. Or you're like your local mom and pop shop. They make better burgers than McDonald's. Even Burger King makes better burgers than McDonald's. And Burger King is shit. You all really got that excited for McDonald's? Is your country really that culturally bankrupt? To the point where you can't even, like, it just blows my mind. And doesn't the ex-Soviet Union have good foods? Like, that's another thing I don't understand. Like, this former Soviet Union has some of, like, the best, one of the most underrated foods in the world. Just blows my mind. And NF KRZ, or Roman Novakers, he talked about a so-called revolution maybe happening in Russia. Well, who gives a shit about some nothing burger, okay? That whole Gen Z nothing burger thingy, which is on his channel, if you want to go watch it or not, like, that thing's going to be a nothing burger. It'll fail. I mean, like, the Russians and Ukrainians have, again, like, some of, like, the most underrated foods in the whole, like, world. I mean, I'm naming just a few, but they got fried potatoes there. They got oladyi, piroshki, chicken Kiev, draniki. I mean, they got some good foods. And they even have a thicker version of shawarma. Like, more so than what you would get in the Middle East or your local shops here in the United States. It just blows my mind by how just so culturally bankrupt Ukraine is. Ukraine has no culture. It has no unique identity to it. It literally has nothing. They closed McDonald's here like 15 years ago in the entire country. We have much better local smash burgers. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. This is what I told my Russian friends on Telegram last night, okay? it doesn't really matter what chain you have. It all comes down to who makes the burgers well, okay? You don't need a chain for your burgers to be good. You need to have simply someone making the burgers good at all. And yeah, it's a burger. A burger. And as I said, there are much better chains out there who make burgers far better than McDonald's does. But yeah, Ukrainians are acting like total sheeple right now. Like full-on cattle. Iran doesn't have fast food chains, and they seem to be doing fine. They're healthy people. Marco Rubio admitted that the United States will redirect weapons intended for Ukraine to the Middle East. No shit. He claims that progress in the negotiations between U.S. and Iran is going well, and the American attack on the country will end in the coming weeks. I hope so. And yeah, this is me reposting my local protest for No Kings rallies. I said that I might go, I may not, but I said that if he does put boots on the ground, I'm definitely going. And yeah, there's the Houthis announcing their entry into the war. And then I'm scrolling back up. Oh yeah, this is in Marib, which is controlled by the Saudi-backed regime in Yemen. Oh yeah, this is Syriac talking about Lebanon invasion. And then yeah, this is from Walter Bashir. Again, I recommend to watch the movie if you haven't already. Oh, and what's this? Oh yeah, Two Majors is dooming hard. Drones have completely taken over the battlefield. In 2024, you could still get through on a motorcycle. In 2025, you could run through the landing zone. But now only the lucky ones reach their target. Aerial control is total. Movement between points only takes place in bad weather. Evacuation from zero has practically ceased. And then you read this doomer bullshit here. And by the way, I've been, again, on Telegram, I've been talking to Russians. They all say that Two Majors is either a fucking idiot or a fucking federal agent for the CIA. And look at this. This is like one of the tankers getting blown to smithereens by Iranian missiles or drones. Ouch. And yeah, we renamed Cesar Chavez Day to Farm Workers Day because Cesar Chavez is an apparent rapist. And then, yeah, this is the Russians resuming their FPV drone strikes on the Pavlograd-Pokrovsk highway in eastern Dnipropetrovsk after a brief lull. And Ukrainians have constructed anti-drone nets, but it doesn't seem like they have been effective. So, yeah, this apparently is like the main road going from Pokrovsk to Pavlograd. Oh, yeah, a lot of Russia fanboys have been panicking about this shit. Ukrainian UAVs once again attacked the Ust-Luga and Primorsk ports in Leningrad Oblast, resulting in large fires breaking out at both locations. These are the two largest Russian Baltic seaports. It appears that these drones once again utilize Polish, Lithuanian, Latvian, and possibly Estonian airspace to reach the ports, with drones just magically appearing in the region near the Latvian border. Even though no alerts were issued in some of the regions which the drones would usually have to fly through. This is the third day in a row Russia's Baltic seaports have come under attack, and the third day in a row that Ukrainian drones likely use NATO airspace to avoid Russian air defense. So this is the attack here on video. So you can see that thing lurking at night. In the distance right here. Boom. And then, yeah, it just sort of fades into total darkness after that. Like nothing happened. But yeah, Russian air defenses are kind of felted right now. And look at this one. Iranian and Iran versus Iranian diaspora. Oh, yeah, this is me calling out DPA. Oh, yeah, look at this shit. Yes, you're all wrong. Not gonna lie, this is like one of the funnier posts he's made. I can't shit on him for this one. This one was actually funny as fuck. I would reuse this one, to be honest with you guys. And this was the last apparent picture of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei before his death. Sounds about right. Just sitting alone in his room, chilling, reading the Quran at night. He knew his death was coming, so he wanted to spend his last moments reading the Holy Scripture. Oh, what's this? Naftali Bennett. Oh, he's a hardcore Zionist, by the way. He says that that Israel or Netanyahu government does not know how to win anywhere. Not in Gaza. Let me try to load this video up. Hold on a moment. I need to make sure I'm on the right X account because I have like plenty of alts that I'm using especially for gay ops. Yep, I'm on the right one. All right, give me a moment. Okay, what does he have to say here for himself?
או ממשלת נתניהו לא יודעת לנצח בשום מקום. לא בעזה, לא בלבנון, בשום מקום לא מנצחים.
היא מנצחת באיראן, היא לא יודעת לנצח גם באיראן.
תראי, אני מסתכל על העובדות. הם הכריזו על ניצחון בעזה. יש היום 30,000 מחבלים בעזה, נוח'בות, שמתחמשים, שממשלת נתניהו כרגע מעבירה להם כל...
So he's basically saying they don't know how to win in Gaza, Lebanon. They are not winning like anywhere. So how can they even beat Iran? Right? And you know, this kind of reminds me of what Ahmadinejad once said in an interview to ABC. He said, like, basically, oh yeah, they can't even manage Gaza, so how can they even win a war with Iran? Oh yeah, and watch this. This one is kind of funny. So Saudis are pranking one another by imitating the sound of Iranian Shahed drones. Hundreds of videos showing these pranks go viral online. Let's actually hear them. Because this is kind of based. Like, I didn't know the Arabs had this good of a sense of humor. Be honest, would you guys do that too to your neighbors? Just to piss them off or just to get a few laughs? Because not gonna lie, I would be very tempted into doing that one. Maybe you guys should do it on Ukrainians. See how they would react. Okay. Oh yeah, so let's actually hear what Ahmadinejad has to say, okay? I'm gonna load the old interview up. Because this one is just way too funny. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for copyright from ABC News or something. Alright, just give me a moment here.
My interview with Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. It turned out to be a feisty one. The president seemed to relish the give and take, which produced some startling and surreal moments. He even suggested at one point that Osama bin Laden is living quietly in Washington, D.C., home to the powerful woman he called Iran's enemy. You called Secretary of State Clinton an enemy of Iran. Do you consider President Obama an enemy of Iran as well?
من بین آقای اوباما و خانم کلینتون فرق قائلم. I consider that there is a difference between Mr. Obama and Mrs. Clinton, but I'd like to ask, is Mrs. Clinton a friend of Iran in your opinion, as an American? In your mind, do you think she's a friend of ours?
I
Nope,
believe that Secretary
I don't
of State
think
Clinton
so.
is a friend of the Iranian people. I believe she is opposed to some actions of the Iranian government, specifically the development of nuclear enrichment, which could lead to a weapons program in the future.
Very well. We are friends of the American people. But if the United States stores several thousand nuclear bombs, threatens others, interferes in other countries' affairs, I would say these are actions that we're opposed to. Does that turn us into an enemy of the American people, or the enemy of the wrong policies adopted by some authorities? Is Mrs. Clinton a friend of the Iranian people? I represent the Iranian people.
How are President Obama and Secretary of State Clinton different?
Mrs. Clinton is interested in speedily moving relations with Iran to the point of a clash. Based on the information we possess, Mr. Obama does not have such an opinion. But there's a lot of pressure going around.
I spoke with President Obama in Prague 3 weeks ago now. He said he would push very hard for another round of UN sanctions unless and until Iran comes into compliance with the International Atomic Energy Agency.
No problem. Any measure he takes will be confronted by a position that we will announce.
How so?
We don't have a special friendship with Mr. Obama. We will act the same way as we have been doing so far against hostilities. Don't worry about us. We know how to defend ourselves.
You're not concerned about sanctions, even though it's not just the United States, it's France, it's Great Britain. I spoke with President Medvedev in St. Petersburg. He said
That's
now
how you
it's
know
time
this
for
video is
sanctions
old.
against the Iranians as well. Iran is becoming increasingly isolated.
We will not accept something that's being forced upon us. The issue that 3 or 4 countries possess a nuclear bomb and want to prevent the others from its peaceful nuclear energy goals, it is in violation of laws and against justice, and we will not accept it. Therefore, let's put it aside. This is not something that by threatening Iran or putting pressure on Iran will force Iran to change its positions. This is not something that will work. Its time has passed. For them, it is better to cooperate with Iran according to the laws,
But Mr. President, do you understand?
according to justice, and on the basis of friendship.
You talk about international law.
I like
principles of justice
his
and
face.
friendship. Do you
So he's
understand
laughing.
how so many in the world community cannot take your statements at face value about nuclear weapons? You say you don't want nuclear weapons when you refuse to comply with the guidelines set out by the International Atomic Energy Agency.
118 member states of the non-aligned movement have declared their support for Iran's position. Don't they count? 57 Islamic countries have supported the Iranian position. Look, Mr. Stephanopoulos, this outlook is wrong. This opinion that some American authorities have are the root cause of the world's problems. That someone who possesses nuclear bombs tells others not to use it for peaceful means.
It's clear from listening to you that you're not concerned about another round.
He's
of
wrecking
sanctions.
this
But it's
journo.
also been pretty clear to most observers that if Iran continues on this path, that the state of Israel will take matters into its own hands.
Oh, God.
And take out Iran's nuclear program.
This is
through
the best
military
part.
means.
Iran will definitely continue its path. You should not even doubt that we will continue our path.
But aren't you playing with fire? The potential of an Israeli military strike?
It gets better.
Do
Here.
they want to attack us? They're not a factor in our defense doctrine. We don't even count them.
You don't plan for that at all?
They're finished. The Zionist regime is finished. They can't even manage Gaza. They want to get into a conflict with Iran? Everybody knows about this, and I'm surprised that you as a professional journalist don't know. All world politicians know about it.
So you're not...
The Zionist regime can't manage Gaza. Do they want to get into a conflict with Iran?
One final question. There's a
This
new
aged
documentary,
so well.
out that says that Osama bin Laden is living in Tehran. Is Osama bin Laden in Tehran?
Your question is laughable.
Why?
The U.S. government has invaded Afghanistan in order to arrest bin Laden. They probably know where bin Laden is. If they don't know where bin Laden is, why did they invade? First, they invaded. Then they tried to find out where he is. Is that logical? Do you think this is logical?
What I think is that you didn't answer my question. Is he in Tehran or not?
Our position is quite clear. Some journalists have said bin Laden is in Iran. These words don't have legal value. Our position towards Afghanistan and against terrorism is quite clear.
Is it true or not?
Maybe you know, but I don't know.
I'm asking you, you're the president of Iran.
I don't know such a thing. You are giving news which is very strange.
So let me ask it a different way. If you did know that Osama bin Laden was in Tehran, would you show him hospitality? Would you expel him? Would you arrest him?
Oh my
I
God.
heard that Osama bin Laden is in Washington, D.C. Yes, I did. He's there because he was a previous partner of Mr. Bush. They were colleagues, in fact, in the old days. You know that. They worked together. Mr. bin Laden never cooperated with Iran, but he cooperated with Mr. Bush.
I'll ask one more time and then I'll let you go.
He's laughing
If
because
you knew that
this
Osama
is
bin
so
Laden
bad.
was in Tehran, which you say you don't.
The U.S.
If you knew, would you
obviously
expel him? Would you arrest him?
helped
Would you
and
show him
cozied up to
hospitality?
bin Laden.
Our borders are closed to the illegal entry of anyone. Anyone, whoever that may be. Whether it's the 3 American mountaineers, Mr. bin Laden, or anyone else, the borders are closed. Our position is clear.
But you deny categorically that he's in Tehran today. He is not. Osama bin Laden is not.
Why
in
would he
Tehran
be in
today?
Tehran? It's literally ruled by
Rest
Shiite
assured,
Muslims.
He's in Washington. I think there's a high chance he's there.
Yeah, I would say it's more likely
Thank you
he'd
for
be
your
in
time,
Washington.
Mr. President.
Let's be honest, he was definitely in Washington, D.C. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're over the 90-minute mark. So for any of you that watch this stream from start to finish, I actually spoke a lot more than I expected I would. I don't know, I guess I just had a blast or something today, but anyway, I hope all of you guys had fun watching the stream. And yeah, we're definitely going to do this again as long as this war keeps going. So I hope every single one of you has a great evening, and I'll talk to you all very soon. So keep in touch with me on Telegram, John Bolton Stan. That's the name of my Telegram channel, that is, which should lead you to the Hague Fugitive channel there. And yeah, I'll talk to you all next time. So take good care of yourselves and peace out. Bye-bye.